Okay, this is shaping. You can't see my head because I turned the camera down so you can see the board a little better. I'm going to, what am I going to do with this thing? Let's see. I'm going to put some flour on the board. Again, we've got the bench knife. And here's the flour. After I made the pizza flour last night, I made some bread, made some bread dough. This is 1 kilo of flour, 620 grams of water, which makes it a 62% dough. And then I put a little oil in here, which makes a bit of a mess, but I like the flavor. Okay, so this has oil on it, and I don't want to be oily, so I'm going to drizzle a little bit of flour on there. And I'm going to do just like I did with the pizza dough, and I'm going to fold it over and kind of get it into one big mass. Okay, I don't want to be too tough with it because it's full of air right now, and I don't want to lose that air. This is going to make 4 loaves. So I'm going to cut it in half. And if I was really being careful, I'd measure it. This looks like so this one looks a little small. I'm going to put a piece on there. Okay. Got a hunk of flour here. What I'm going to do, I'm going to pull it and stretch it like I'm diapering a baby. Pull, stretch. I guess you wouldn't be this tough with a baby. And what I'm doing is I'm pulling and stretching so that the top of it gets stretched and tensioned. Then I'm sliding the bench knife underneath the dough and pulling it and tensioning. Okay, so there's a ball. Now I'm going to roll it around, and the reason is I want to close up that gap. It won't matter because it's going to be on the bottom anyway. But okay, and I'm going to take this. I have some bannetons that I have put a piece of plastic in. Not very traditional, but it's cleaner. And I flip the dough in it like that. Set that aside. I'll do this with the rest of these. This one still looks kind of small. And like I said, if I was doing this for a living, say if I had a bakery, I'd weigh each one of these. I'd want them to be as close to the same as possible for a couple of reasons. One, they'd all come out the same size. And two, if I was baking them for all the same time, all at the same time, you want them to be the same size so they bake at the same rate. Flip it. Into the basket it goes. Next one. What I'm doing is shaping. And some people shape very vigorously. And I don't like to do that because this dough is full of gas and I want that gas. I want the bubbles. So I'm only going to do it as much as I have to. And I'm just pushing the dough underneath, stretching the top. Roll it around. Looks like there's a straight piece. Roll it around. And one more. I'm going to throw this in there. I don't like to lose any. Again, if a professional bakery probably wouldn't do it this way. Lots of professional bakeries use a very hydrated dough, maybe on the order of 70 or 75%. I find that that is hard to work with because, for one thing, the ball won't sit up like that. When I take it and put it out on the pizza peel to put in the oven, it'll splat and it'll just go flat, and I'll have like a big pancake. Okay, so now they're shaped. They're in the bannetons. You can use bowls. It doesn't matter. The bannetons will give the rib shape a little. It's not that important to me. It's important to me to have it all in one place. I can do this. I can lay these out on a board, and I can just cover them. And because I'm using a lower hydration, they'll stay. But using the bannetons will make baking easier. Okay, so then I put them close together. I get my plastic wrap. And I cover them like this. I've already covered them with what the plastic in there, but I just want to make sure no air. If air gets to the dough, it makes what's called a skin, and the skin becomes very tough, and it won't cook right, and you'll end up with something that is pretty undesirable. And that's shaping. The last thing I do, and it's kind of like telling everybody around what's going on, is I get a little kitchen towel. I got 2 of these from somebody I work with, and I told her I use them every week, and I just cover this. This says to everybody around that there's bread there and don't mess with it. Okay, now it's let's see, it's 3:24. These have been sitting in that tub for about 18 hours. Now I'm going to let them sit for probably an hour and a half before I bake.